So if we could find something that's a project that could work on, that'd be awesome.
99.9% of the time, if there's a couple involved and the wife wants move-in ready, you're not going into a project. What's up, everybody? If you know me, you know that I was on House Hunters back in April. We're gonna take some time this time around to watch this thing together, get some good laughs in. Let's go. It's kind of weird watching yourself on TV a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Pursuing her dream of grad school in California, but she was worth waiting for. You know, there's not many people that can put up with me.
There's no one that can put up with Anshul.
Move-in ready is really, really important to me.
I do want a project, though. If we could find something that's a project that could work on, that'd be awesome.
99.9% of the time, if there's a couple involved and the wife wants move-in ready, you're not going into a project.
Ways are gonna be about $680.
It's in the West Loop. It's above the price point.
It's above her price point. I think I'm good with the price point.
I've already lost Rishi. I said it's gonna need some work. She's out. We haven't even
ready
walked
to
in the
move in.
doors yet. It's gonna need some work.
Really, Eli?
Look at the look she's giving me.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
Rishi hasn't even stepped foot in the door yet, and she's asking me what side I'm on.
Nice.
This is
I like
hilarious.
it.
This
You
is
like
not gonna
the
go
cider
well.
I like it.
Look at all that natural sunlight. It's beautiful.
Okay, this is cool. The windows are gorgeous.
Big windows are awesome. The exposed brick.
20 feet of natural light, double-sided fireplace.
Okay, so when we opened this closet, they cut out a lot of the footage on this, but it looked like a scene of 50 Shades of Grey with all the hooks. We didn't know what the heck this person was doing with this place.
One more floor up.
This is nice.
Seriously, check this out. This is an awesome entertaining spot.
I guess there is an interior portion.
This is pretty awesome.
So I bet you if we had shown them this place post-COVID-19, they would have picked this place just with its outdoor space. It's funny how things change so fast. You want something one day and then you end up in another 6 months to a year later. So this outdoor space is awesome.
No, that it would need to be redone.
It's a little...
Right there, you look back at Rishi's eye roll, that's where I lost her. This one was out immediately. So something to keep in mind with this building that I haven't talked about enough is that it was also facing south, so you're gonna get a ton of exposure. It's an end unit, and for townhouses, that's extremely important because typically you're sandwiched in between two other units, and so you've got no windows on either side of you, so having an end unit on a townhouse is primo. Again, if they had looked at this place at a different time, awesome place for an office, quarantine, coronavirus, COVID-19, this could have been the one too.
A multi-purpose.
You mean no purpose?
I mean, most people use this as like an office.
So the editors on this one, I gotta tell you, for some reason they thought it was funny, but Anshul right here during this part, he actually was given, we had an intern go and get him a sandwich. For some reason, the producers wanted to show him eating a lot. They thought it was funny because he gets hangry, so they were kind of a play on words there. But he didn't know. He finishes the sandwich. We have to redo the whole shoot. And they asked him where the sandwich was, and he finishes. So we had to send an intern back to Starbucks to get him another sandwich to eat for the rest of the episode. These take about 8 hours to film per day for 5 days for 22 minutes. But that was pretty funny. I remember that.
This was moving ready. Eli?
It's moving ready. It's not diva ready.
Moving ready, not diva ready. That's probably the best line of the whole episode. That's hilarious. Anshul's, he's been a bit of a diva so far throughout the show, if you can't tell, but that was pretty funny.
I'm inside the place.
Well, they're retired. They don't come out very often.
Pretty uncommon actually with these townhouses to have a corner unit that's going to bring in all this light.
Light, townhouse,
Or sandwiched
unit.
between another unit, so it's pretty dark.
Yeah, and this is really nice, actually.
Very homey, cozy,
Yeah.
especially with all the winter months that we have in Chicago.
For those long, hot, steamy nights indoors.
Between you two.
Or the long, cold winters in Chicago.
Or the long, cold winters in Chicago. That's right.
This is beautiful.
So something with this unit that would have done it wonders for it if the staging was better, people were actually living in it, but some of the furniture is definitely not their style. They're more modern, clean cut, more crate and barrel pottery born, etc. So this stuff's, it's a warm feel with brown furniture, soft soft look, big couch, just a little bit more wood. And so that definitely would have helped with this property again, but you can't really control how someone else lists their place.
Add up to, where this is going to start becoming out of our price point in a neighborhood that we don't want to live in.
Oh, now we have a price point?
Keep in mind, we just showed him the loft. He was willing to dump $250,000 into that, but now we need minor reservations and we're out of the price point. So it's funny how people convince themselves into one direction or another, depending on which way they're already leaning in their head.
It's really not finished.
Yeah, so this unit, we're in about a week earlier than it hitting the market.
It's a good size.
So something that's kind of hard for people is to envision what something's going to look like. New construction, though, when you do send them to new construction after seeing places that have been lived in, 8 out of 10 times people tend to eventually want to pick that place. In this case, you couldn't see any of the floors. The washer dryer was actually still in the living room. You could see ductwork that was still kind of hanging out, but at the end of the day, they were going to be the first ones in there. They could still customize a few items on there, and it would be, I thought, the best compromise for them. But then it was in the price range too. One thing to keep in mind that is extremely important in the city of Chicago is sunlight, especially for resale. But at this property in particular, it's facing east, so you're going to get the most sun from 8 to about 11 o'clock. If I had showed them this place around 4, 5, 6 p.m., it would actually look dark inside the unit. So the number one way you want to face is actually south. It's the most sunlight throughout the entirety of the day. Best exposures you could have is a corner lot that's south and east facing.
It's the smallest stove I've ever seen. It must be a mini.
For all that cooking that we do.
Yeah, it's proportionate to the amount of cooking you do, sure.
Yeah.
So I've been over to Anshul and Rishi's place right now. The only time I've actually seen them cook is when they hired their good friend and Michelin star chef Shin Thompson come for their housewarming party. Since then, I don't think I've ever seen that stove on. I don't think the microwave's ever been turned on. It's kind of funny that they keep talking about it, but I don't even think I've ever seen using any of the appliances except for the refrigerator.
One thing I'm always...
And the wine fridge.
This room is about 12 by 10.
Walk-in closet?
Oh.
This would be great.
So I've said this before, but I do highly recommend not getting a unit that has a bedroom that's smaller than 10 feet. So that's kind of why you hear me talking about it in this episode. So understanding dimensions, master bedroom size is 14 by 12 minimum. And then every other bedroom should be at least 10 feet wide or 10 feet long, making sure it's not less than that because it's going to be difficult to have a king size bed or a queen size bed with 2 nightstands on each side, which every buyer in the future is going to want.
This would be closer to 14 by 12.
Yeah, it feels small. It just feels like the only thing you can fit in is like a bed and maybe a dresser, and that's about it.
That works for you though, because you really.
So they ended up moving in here, and the first call they made to me was telling me how the master bedroom actually felt huge. So they've got all their furniture in there, and we were actually surprised at how big it was. When it's empty, sometimes you're thinking that it is a lot smaller than you think it is, but it was funny. It was the first call that I got was, man, this master bedroom is actually way bigger than we thought it was. So the one that they actually ended up picking right there, that was actually the first place we went into in reality of things. So when we first walk in, they want your first initial impressions, you give them it, but then they end up actually shooting that same scene, so you walk back in 4 different times, and you kind of just ad-lib. So yeah, you shoot almost every scene that you see in every room, you shoot it about 4 different times, so you're at each property for the entire day. So you get there around 8 o'clock in the morning, you're not leaving till 5 o'clock at night.